Stephen Morris wants to know,
I was a black up pan for Wrestle Up for SummerSlam too, and Rumble.
Can you think of any backstage rumors that were presented to Vince that cracked him up when he heard?
Actually, most of them, because oftentimes when you read the dirt sheets and you read the wrestling internet media, if you will, 9 times out of 10, it's completely made up anyway. So most of it becomes humorous, and it's to the point of, when you read it, you just go, oh God, it becomes irritating after a while. When it, the first 10 years, it's funny and humorous, and then after a while, it's just, holy cow, man, this guy's duped all these people for this many years. It's ludicrous after a while.
Chat me up about the wrestling media. I mean, I know how you feel about Dave and Wade because we talk about the nostalgia so much, but you don't feel that way towards like Mike Johnson or Sean Ross Sapp, do you?
Don't know.
Okay.
And I don't know Wade. You know what? Hey, I mean, Wade was at least classy enough and man enough to come up and say hello to me, introduce himself at Starrcast. The other guy turned tail and ran.
Well, probably because you've been clowning on him here on the show for years at that point.
Just telling the truth.
So I guess what we're looking for here is one of those old, crazy wrestling stories that Vince maybe heard of. And Steven even suggests, and boy, he's reaching. Do you know what Vince's reaction was to hearing about the Genius's party trick?
But that's not something that would be in the dirt sheets.
No, but it didn't say anything about dirt sheets. It says backstage rumors.
I think that in our business that we live within a world that is in and of itself highly entertaining and highly unique, and over the top things that take place don't always, that they're not shocking. They're not, it's another day in the office. So all too often, most of that type of rumor and innuendo was met with apathy, kind of like, oh, really? Okay. Good for him. That's just the way it is. There's not a whole lot that's like, oh my God. There's not a whole lot of, oh my God, left in our lives anymore. It's kind of like, oh, really? Okay, cool.
So let's chat about, Christoph. He says, back in 2006, when you guys decided to go with the angle of Shane and Vince versus Sean and God at Backlash, was there any apprehension on your part in bringing the often divisive and controversial topic of religion into a WWE storyline? And I got to say, Christoph, before Bruce answers, considering that he was the Brother Love character, I'm going to step out on a limb and say Bruce was fine with it.
I was fine with it. And I think that, there are some lines that you maybe shouldn't cross. And I think that it's all subjective to a point. I looked at, first of all, Brother Love didn't do religion. I know that people, viewed it that way. I was doing a spoof on televangelists. I was doing a spoof on the people that I felt were the biggest frauds on television. That was my personal feeling. That's how I felt. And I came from a place in the South where every Sunday, that was your television programming. You didn't have a choice. You didn't have 500 cable channels to choose from. You didn't have the internet to go on YouTube and just watch something else. You had Oral Roberts, you had Jimmy Swaggart, you had Jim Baker, on down the line, Joel Osteen's dad in Houston, and then Don Mahoney and Gina Claire, by God. But that's what you had. That's what I grew up on. And I was that kid that would sneak in to the tent revivals at the Baptist church down the street from my house just to watch them, because I was mesmerized by the tambourines and the music and just the energy that these evangelists would be able to evoke the emotion, to get people that didn't have a pot to piss in to find whatever last penny they had and give it to them. Found that fascinating. But then you would also see, because, you'd kind of hang out and you could hear, through the tent, different things, and be a kid, you would hide and listen and see the real, the business behind that, if you will. And it wasn't as all true and altruistic as it was made to be in front of the audience. So I was doing a parody on that.
Right.
And I didn't look at it as a parody on religion. I didn't look at it as being sacrilegious. I know a lot of people did, and that's their viewpoint, and I will argue that till the day I die. The God angle was extremely divisive. I think it was polarizing in many ways. But at the same time, I looked at it like, we are entertainment.
Yeah, you were trying to do it comically. I mean,
we were doing it in the highest of eyebrows up that you could possibly do, and let people know that, hey, folks, we're winking at you here,
of course,
big time. We did spoofs of every movie that you could think of, from wanting to do the Al Pacino,
right,
sticking his finger in the holy water and having a bubble and things like that. So we were looking to spoof that, and anybody that took it seriously, I think that there are folks that will view that and look at it with jaded eyes, and you're going to have that no matter what you do.